What's good, everybody? My name's Pidgeon, and today we're going to be talking about intersex. So what is intersex? Intersex is a condition when someone is born with sex chromosomes, genitalia, or reproductive organs that aren't easily categorized as men or women. Intersex is a condition that can affect between 0.1, 0.01, 0.05% to 1.7% of the human population. That higher end of the statistic is similar to the amount of redheads we have in the world. So think about that. So who am I? I'm Pidgeon. I was born with an intersex condition known as androgen insensitivity syndrome. This is harder than it looks. You YouTube people, y'all do amazing work out there. I don't know how you do this. You sniff some peppermint. Let's try this again. So who am I?
I identify as a queer, gender non-conforming intersex person.
I'm Pidgeon, and I was born intersex. I was born with a condition called androgen insensitivity syndrome, or AIS for short. This means the cells in my body are unable to really hear testosterone when it's calling out. It says, "Hello testosterone, I'm gonna make you into estrogen." So my body has developed phenotypically, which is a fancy word for what my body looks like on the outside. It has developed phenotypically on a female, quote-unquote, traditional trajectory. When I was born and doctors took me out of my mother's womb, literally took me out because it was a cesarean. When they popped me out of that belly, they were like, congratulations, lady, you got a baby girl. And they wrote female on the birth certificate and sent us on our good little happy-go-lucky way. A few months later, my pediatrician was like, I see something going on here between these little chubby legs of your daughter. Let's have the specialist at the children's hospital take a look-see. And the specialist did some blood work, and they discovered I have XY chromosomes. They discover also that I have a karyotype that would suggest, and a karyotype is, I believe, it is a fancy word for your chromosome set, especially your sex chromosomes. And I could be wrong, so I'm gonna check this out. Might edit it out, might not. Maybe just put some words on the screen. So I'm at the hospital, the doctors run their test, and they discover that I am intersex, that I have XY chromosomes, and I have a condition called androgen insensitivity syndrome. And at the age of 1, I was only 1 year old, the doctors talked my parents into doing a gonadectomy. So yeah, so you're born with these gonads in your abdomen. But the important thing to note that in the beginning of life, they all start as the same gonadal tissue, just kind of chilling in the abdomen, and it isn't until the 4th month in utero that the hormones will wash over the body and dictate what those gonads are going to do. Kind of like they become fuel to an engine that's kind of just sitting there, and the fuel will either push those gonads down into the scrotum area and become testes, or they'll kind of keep them put and keep that engine purring, but right where they were, and they'll become ovaries. In my case, they stayed gonads. So it was just automatically thought that I had a uterus and ovaries and all that stuff. The truth was that I didn't have all that stuff. At the age of 1, the doctors told my parents their child was born with gonads that are undeveloped ovaries. And man, this is so confusing. Like, imagine being a parent, getting all this information on your firstborn child. Everything you kind of took for granted is just kind of thrown out the window, and now these doctors are throwing all these terms at you and telling you what you thought you knew about the world isn't true, and your kid, your daughter, actually has these undeveloped ovaries and and gonads. So they told my parents, we gotta take these gonads out right now, or they might become cancer by the time your kid turns 11. To be continued. Intersex surgeries. And remember, intersex stories, not surgeries.